Alright guys, Off-Road King here again, and coming with an update. I should be getting a run video maybe within the next couple days. I'm going to the mountains this Saturday at the time of this video, so I might have a running video up of the Wraith. First thing I did when I got it is I didn't trash them, I didn't throw away. I put the stock tires over to the side and put a set of these Proline Epic 2.2 wheels. They're for a two-wheel drive slash, and I got the rear offset all the way around. But I encountered a problem. It's a running video I might upload later. It happened a couple weeks ago, but I was running it and I heard a loud crack, and in this wheel right here, it's kind of hard to see if it'll focus. I don't think it will. But there is a crack within the hex hub, and it was allowing the hex hub to spin on the hex, and it unscrewed this little lock nut and the tire fell off in the video. And at the time I didn't know what it was, and I finished running it, but it cracked this wheel and the wheel's not usable. So I emailed Proline, or I called Proline, and they told me to email them. So I emailed them a claim talking about this wheel and talked to the guy from Proline, and couple days later, after talking with him on and off over email, it took us a little longer than it should have. He told me that they would send me a replacement wheel, and they sure did. And it's right there, new, shiny, and all that. They just sent the wheel. I had to use my original beadlock ring and hardware and the clamping rings that go on the inside of the tire. One thing I did to these is the Proline memory foams are cut, so you can see I have a lot more tire flex now than it used to, and that's really helped it. I did order the other day. I ordered a order from CKRC right there, and got this driver. It's a Duratrax 2.0 millimeter. I'm not that impressed with it. It's got a little bit of play in it, and I've had CKRC products or Duratrax products before, these ball end drivers right here, and I haven't used those in forever. They stripped out so many screws that I didn't even try and use them anymore. Also ordered, I'll show you that in a minute, I took a silver Sharpie marker, one of those silver metallic Sharpies, and did some little scale touch up things. I did the diff cover, the axle truss, the steering wheel has got a little silver touch up on it, and I did the chassis brace front and rear. Notice it's got a little bed cover in the back, and that's a piece of sheet aluminum I had laying around. I cut it, and it's held in with 4 zip ties. And I even did like the inside of the lower links with the silver Sharpie just to make them look dimple dyed, but that looks pretty cool. But one thing I did do is previously I hinged the hood. I've cut the body lines. You can kind of see where it's cut right there. And you can see a little bit of offset and the 2 screws on the top. Now this is not a CKRC hinged hood kit for the Wraith or anything. It's a piece of that sheet aluminum I've got in the back bent around and made to make 2 hinges. I made that out in my garage in about 2 minutes. The reason I'm using pliers is because I've got a giant cut on my hand, and it probably needed stitches at the time, but I didn't feel like going to the hospital. But yeah, you can see the little hinges right there. They do the job. But I got the CKRC battery forward plate. Kind of hard to see. It's Delrin right here. It's all Delrin. I had to trim a little bit for the interior. And I've got the ESC mounted here. And over in this corner, I've got that, which controls the underglow that I put on it. Little Walmart LED strips I put on it, like 12 bucks. I'm going to get the longer ones eventually and run them on up through here and all that. But I just wanted some lights at the time. Another thing I did, I took a black Sharpie marker and gave it eyebrows on the headlights. It's got a lot meaner look to it now. But turn the receiver box around so I could access this a lot easier. Run the ESC wire under the battery forward plate and put one of the I want it to focus so you can see the part number on it. It's a Tord Pro MG946R Metal Gear servo that I just put in it. Because the other one, the AE2, I think is what it's called, the gears stripped out in it. Or they didn't strip, the bearings went out in it, and you could move the horn itself back and forth. And this is with the chassis mounted servo from Vanquish and the pan hard kit from Vanquish. And I put a Futaba metal aluminum servo horn on it. And it was a lot longer. It had a third hole down here. I cut it off and trimmed it and did everything I needed to do because it needed to be able to clear under turning, which it can do now. So I like that setup. It's a 208 ounces. It does everything I needed to do. And I run it yesterday on stocks. The new wheel just come in. But one thing I want to show y'all is, you know I have a bunch of slash 4x4s. I've got that one, the Ultimate, and one I'm about to show you. And previously I told you that I got rid of the stock wheels and tires. Well, I got the idea. I put the wide hex hubs on. The wide 6 lug holes. Six hole hubs. And they mount right on the slash 4x4 and clear. I got full turning and everything. And so I'm going to make this one as like I can run true 2.2s on it now. But you can even see I did silver Sharpie marker on some of these and touched them up, even the letters on the tires. And but they clear fine. And the BF Goodrich tires, I run these yesterday because I didn't have the new Proline wheel. I cut the tread on them. You can see how much more aggressive they are now. I cut the center blocks out and then the edge blocks on the next row. And they did fairly well for, these aren't R35. The description says they're R35. They are not R35. The R35s are an upgrade. Just like if you buy a RTR regular Wraith and then buy the R35 Ripsaws. It's not, it doesn't come with R35s because these are way too stiff. They were super stiff before I cut out all these lugs, and that freed them up a lot. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to go over. I can show you how. The first thing I did on the Wraith is I did the battery forward. And I'll show you. I run this Venom 2S 5000 25C, and it just fits right in there perfect. I don't even use Velcro. The hood just holds it in place. And but get that out of there. The way I was having trouble holding it down, I tried to put some Velcro up here and then some Velcro on this strip right here to get it to Velcro down, and that didn't work. So I took 2 battery posts out of the slash 4x4s. You can see right there on the Ultimate. I ended up taking one out of it, and there's not one in that slash 4x4, and put through here, and those holes are big enough I had to use the bolt right there. You can kind of see it. This phone doesn't want to focus, but I used a bolt and bolted it down, reamed 2 holes in the body. And now when you push the hood all the way down, now mind you have to push a little bit, but when you get it, it's a solid seal. And I really like it. It seems to hold up really well. It seems to hold it shut really well. And all in all, I think that's a good upgrade to do. I actually got this idea to cut the hood and where to cut it from Harley Designs. He's got a nice channel and he's upgrading his Poison Spyder Wraith. And he uploads videos every Thursday, and they're real nice videos. You should go over and give him a subscribe. He's got real nice videos. But he did a video talking about cutting his hood and everything. And one thing he did mention that is true, you do have to cut a little notch right here to get the hood to be able to fold up and clear that center post right there, the leaning post. You see my antenna's taped down right here where it's out of the way. I just ordered from A-Main Hobbies about 5 minutes ago, and I ordered a driver and some set screws because the I put a 27 tooth motor, a 27 turn motor in it that comes out of SCX10, and I wanted to gear it down lower. And I had this old 18 tooth Traxxas pinion that come out of my 2-wheel drive Slash back when I had it. And I was like, okay, I'll put a smaller pinion in it and gear it down. So I tried to put the smaller pinion in it, and the problem I run into is the motor mount plate, the holes that are for motor adjustment, they aren't long enough because the motor's so big and the transmission is such a small space that you can't put a smaller pinion in there unless you run a bigger spur. So I'm going to try and order like maybe an 87 tooth spur and then put an 18 or 17 tooth pinion in it and gear it down some more. Give it more of that low end torque that I'm looking for. But that's about it. That's all that's happened lately. I'm going to try and get a rebuild kit. The reason that Slash 4x4 over there doesn't have a motor is the bearing that goes in the back housing on the Valenian 3500 motors. It went out. It's got grit in it and it wore it down and this all wore out. And you could hear the shaft, the rotor, rubbing up against the inside of the copper walls, the copper winding. So I'm going to get a rebuild kit, and that'll get that Slash 4x4 up and running. The Ultimate's running just fine. I need to work on tuning the suspension on it. A little bit heavier weights in the oil, and maybe some different springs. It's got low-C springs on it now. I hadn't run that one up there in a long time. I need to take it down and go run it on 2S. I hadn't run it in about a month or so. I've been tied up with this one. I really like the slow speed off-road kinda. I've been wanting to get into it for a while, and non-censored brushless isn't the way to do it. But this is Off-Road King signing off. Hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about my channel. I'm trying to get some more subscribers. I've only got 65, 66 now. I'd really like to get up to 70 or 75. I mean, yeah, I'd like to get where I had a bunch of subscribers, but realistically, I just kind of want to get a fan base. Not really a fan base, just a friend base. I don't want any of y'all to think that what I do is so special and fancy, and what I do is just awesome. Y'all can do it too. So, this is Off-Road King signing off. I'll see y'all later.